Hey folks, I'm Mike. Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/Inkdependence. It keeps this blog ad-free. Hey folks, I'm Mike. This is Inkdependence, and today we're taking a look at this, or rather the thing that's in here. This is a Franklin-Christoph product, so standard disclaimer is that my wife Audrey is the nib specialist at Franklin-Christoph, and that this does not in any way I can tell color my reviews of their products, because I've been doing it for a long time and I'm quasi-professional at this. So, inside this box is the new Penvelope 6, and it's called the new Penvelope 6. That's the name of the product. This is made out of a very different material from what they've worked with before. It is called NWF for natural wood fiber, and it's a very interesting product. I like the look. It comes in 3 colors. You've got this green, you've got the new Penvelope 3, which is exhibiting the maroon color, and then there's a brown color as well, which I don't have an example of. They also make a 12 pen, which I don't have an example of, but it's like 2 of these, right? Like that's what it looks like. So I think these colors are pretty nice. They come in a nice sort of pre-distressed looking finish. It looks like it's like you'd look for like a boot leather or something that had like some distress to it. But this isn't distress. Actually, I tried to scratch this up like going like this on it, and well, you'll see that on boot leather it'll give it like lines and all this kind of stuff. This seemed fairly impervious. I didn't like try to stab it or anything, but it feels very sturdy. So on the outside here, you'll see it's a little bit on the shiny side, which I think is cool. It's kind of glossy. You've got this nice off-color stitch, which I'm a fan of. I like an off-color stitch. It's just a little bit of extra detail that I think looks cool. The construction of this thing all the way around looks nice and clean and solid. The stitching is even. This looks good. I think there aren't like any gaps or anything that are going to open up in here. And of course, Franklin-Christoph backs their products, so I'm not worried about that at all. This doesn't have a magnet like their older, or I guess it's actually like a side grade. They're going to keep selling the original Penvelope, so this is like another option. Instead of the magnet, they have this cool system right here. So in order to open that, you just like grab this and pull up, right? This is kind of flexible, and so it doesn't really have a problem with that. You can also just grab this and pull it up, but I think this tab is actually a bit better. This loop is stiff and it doesn't close, which I think is great, because if you have one of these tab systems, but you can't get the loop is fiddly, that's a huge problem. This is very easy, I think. When you open it up, you can see here, like when you open it and stretch it, you get a little bit of like stress lines in there, but it feels solid. Like this is a solid feeling thing. It feels like a leather, but it is in fact some kind of vegan paper product sort of situation. And it's supposed to wear like leather too, although I've only had it for a couple of weeks, so I can't speak for its absolute longevity. But it's pretty darn good to me. It's also stiff. This is not really flexible. You can you can squeeze the sides a bit if you want, but it's a pretty. This way, it is actually very strong. So inside, you have a removable, which I think this is a great feature of this thing, frankly, a removable pin sleeve system. So this is that natural wood fiber stuff. This is cotton with like a stiffened backing board in here, probably cardboard or I don't know, something like that. I haven't cut one open to find out. But these are all stitched in, and this will hold any pin up to 0.7 inches in diameter. And so like this is a Model 2, and it has a pretty beefy cap on there, and that's got no problem going in there. Also, notice this is clipless, and this cotton like insert does a pretty good job, I think, of catching it and not letting it come out. This bamboo one is a smooth wood, and it's also way skinnier, and that's got no problem either. It's not. If I shake it a lot, I can make it come out, but it's not coming out casually for sure. This is a Franklin-Christoph 45, which is like this big. So it's the same size as the sleeve, but just give it a little poke there and it comes right out. Unlike some other cases and that sort of thing, we have to like dig for things, and unlike the original Penvelope, which had bigger loops and they weren't this cotton stuff, and so if you had a clipless pin that was small, it would rattle around or it would get lost and you'd have to like shake it out of there. You don't have that issue with this case at all. You just like take this thing out and poke it and it comes right out. So that's really cool. The other cool thing about this is that you can get extras. So this one, the 6-pin, comes with the 6-pin sleeve. The 3-pin, of course, comes with a 3-pin sleeve. This is actually really easy to pull out. I usually just grab a pin and it comes out. That's the easiest way I've found to do it. And so a neat thing about these is that these are these are like interchangeable, and you can use them in all these different systems. So the Franklin-Christoph backpack and sling bag that are new. I should do a review on that backpack soon. I'll have that up probably next couple of weeks. It has a bunch of pockets that are sized for these 3 pen cases. They also sell an eyeglass case, which you can put this in, that makes it effectively like a soft case for pens. I don't have one of those to show, but pretty cool for that as well. And those have been around for a bit. There's also the Vagabond notebook system, which is their sort of traveler's notebook answer. At least kind of like same sort of size and design. And the front pocket in this can hold your cell phone, but it can also hold a 3 pen case, which is actually very convenient. And this is one of these things that I really like when brands have a cohesive system. So like, good job, Scott, on the design on this stuff, because I think that is real neat. Another thing that's cool is if you get the 12 pen case, it comes with 2 of these, and they come in, the different colors, the brown and the black and that sort of thing. But if you just want to use this, but you want to carry like different stuff in it, sometimes, and this is what I've been doing actually, that's why I got extras of these, and these are pretty cheap. They're like $8 for this 3 pen set thing here, so not very expensive. I mean, not, obviously without the pens, but this will take 2 of those instead of the 1/6, which is neat because sometimes you want to rotate your pens around, and like this could, like, I don't know, stand in for pen storage, even like put it in a drawer. They're not going to roll around. You can put it on your desk. They're there. I've actually heard of I think I read a post on Reddit and one of the fountain pen subs that said that somebody got one of these and was just using it as like a fancy pocket protector, so that's kind of cool. What I did this weekend was, generally I throw this in my backpack. Like, that's the one I've been carrying. I just chuck it in there, and it's gotten no damage or anything. I'm not worried about this at all. Whoa. But what I wanted to do was bring some fountain pens, but also like some not so fountain pens, because sometimes I just want to write with a not fountain pen, and that's fine. So when I do grading and stuff like that, sometimes I'm taking tallies, and for tallies and such, like, it's best if you have a click pen. This is a Zebra Sarasa Dry. I'm loving this pen right now. But this, you can throw in there. I've got this Pilot, like, brush tip pen, because I don't know, sometimes you just want to play with one of those. I got this is a Hybrid Technica, a really nice ballpoint gel hybrid thing. This Euchre pen, which I reviewed recently. This Zebra fountain pen, which exclamation point, right? Yeah, there we go. And you can just take these and throw them in the other side like this. And so they're kind of loose, but I don't care if these bump up against each other. They're just like plastic disposable pens. And these, your fountain pens, are all protected by this like cotton sleeves. So when you close this, you've got like a bunch of pens. What have I got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 8 pens in here, and there's room for a few more. You can hear the rattle, but I've got 8 pens in the 6 pen case. I've got every use case I want to cover: gel pens, roller balls, ballpoints, brush nibs, fountain pens, all of it in this little, like, pretty small form factor. Now, it does rattle a little bit because there's loose pins in there, and that shouldn't surprise anyone, but it's not gonna open. Like, I tried this a good bit, and I couldn't get it to open. This is stiff enough, and there's enough resistance here and in the top that it doesn't just flop open. Like, you have to open it intentionally, which is pretty darn good. So this is a very versatile case. Let's look at it next to the original design of the Penvelope, which is these. I've got a couple of them because I'm a Penvelope fan from way back. This one I've had for 4 or 5 years, I think, at this point. This is in the suit fabric. It's got the exposed magnet and that sort of thing. So when you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, this is actually quite a lot different from the new one. So this one has these sort of hard pen loops right here. And if you have a pen without a clip, like, it just kind of floats in there. It doesn't get held in like it does with the fabric, the cotton fabric on the other one. You've also got this, like, this is the thing you can't do with the new one. So some people might miss this. I don't use it this way, but you can put a notebook, or you can, like, cram extra pens in there if you want to. I've seen people put like 20 pens in a 6 pen case. I don't really recommend it, but you can do it. But also, like, this is quite a bit bigger. This is the current design of the Penvelope. This is in their boot leather. And if you, like, use your fingernail, you can see that it scratches up. And you just, like, rub it out. It's meant to pick up some wear. Although it's been wearing, like, really well. Like, any scratches in here sort of seem to, like, sort themselves out. This one's kind of a bigger ding, but, like, whatever. It's boot leather. And this has the hidden magnet and all that sort of thing. It also doesn't come open accidentally, but if you have a pen that's not got a clip, or when it's skinny, if you put a 45 in here, it can get lost a little bit. So that's a drawback. But you got this storage. So here's the other thing about this new one. It's substantially smaller than the original Penvelope. So I'm just going to square these guys up. So it's a good bit smaller in each direction, including thickness. So this is little compared to the Penvelope. One problem that the Penvelope has is that if you want to carry 6 pens, this is a chunky way to do it. Like, they're protected, I feel like, in here. These pen loops are very stiff. There is some room for them to like slide around if they're not clipped in or whatever, but and this will actually hold a bigger pen, obviously, than this one will too, because it's taller. But this is a chunky way to do it. And I mean, I've been using this chunky way to do it for years, but this one has kind of usurped that role for me because it's a small boy. And it's stiff, and I like this material. I think it's pretty cool. It's got it's got a little bit of a new car smell to it right now. Probably that'll dissipate over time. Like I said, I've only had this for a couple of weeks. Let me see the other one. Yeah, this one's starting to dissipate a little bit, so I think that smell is not going to be with you for very long, and it's not particularly strong, so don't worry about it. I'm really enjoying these pen cases, and I think you will too, so check these out over at the Franklin-Christoph.com, where they go for, this one was $25, and the 6 was $45, and the new 12 one, I read on the website, is $65. So compare that with the Penvelope 6, which goes for $65, and then these are $58 in the fabric. So substantially cheaper, actually, as an option. Which I think is pretty cool. Also, if you're not a leather person, you don't have to use leather to carry your pens safely. You've got this cool, like, natural wood fiber thing, which I'd like to learn more about, but they ain't telling. So, seems pretty cool. All right, so thank you very much for watching, and enjoy your pens. This also, I think, would make a great gift for a pen lover. The holidays are coming up, so keep that in mind. And tell Franklin-Christoph I sent you, because otherwise they're not gonna know that you saw these or like watch my channel or like whatever. So tell your vendors that I said hi, and I will see y'all later. Peace out.